stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order on the agenda is communications. First of all, does anybody else have any communications involving the town?
I do, but we can discuss it under old business.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I've got a letter here from the United States Department of Commerce. I quote, "In July 2017, the Census Bureau mailed your jurisdiction registration materials for the 2020 Census Local Update of Census Addresses Operation," and it goes on and on. Basically, they're looking for some kind of a reply. I'm a little new here. I'm 24 days on the job. Somebody's got to tell me who answers this kind of correspondence. Planning board or me? I guess is what I'm looking for.
It should have been the supervisor back in July of
Oh,
17.
well, it's addressed to Sarah Nicole, but she isn't here.
No.
I guess that leaves me, huh? Okay, that one's taken care of.
Supervisor, I'm sorry. They did notify me also, and I did respond, because the Census Bureau normally contacts me with questions regarding properties that they visit, to see if they're one-family, two-family, owner, occupied, and such.
Thank you.
I did respond though. and-
Appreciate the comment,
Yep.
but then I have to ask, is the letter sent to you looking for the same material as this letter?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think I'll respond and we'll go from there. Okay. Correspondence yesterday from a Brad Wanowski,
That's the way you pronounce it, I think.
Polish fella. Anybody here familiar with him? He's from the Department of Environmental Conservation.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So I didn't have the name because in my correspondence it was he's from the DEC and he's the liaison for FEMA.
That's right.
Okay, and his correspondence dated to me about a week and a half ago was lost in the Gmail suite because there's no longer an email, and I didn't print out his correspondence.
There is an email. Nobody has dismantled it, and the correspondence was dated December 21st.
Mine, the copy I got was in this year. It was after the first of the year. He wants to tweak the FEMA laws. The FEMA law that we passed, he has several recommendations for tweaking it.
They aren't recommendations. They are things that have to be done.
Well, not necessarily, because we may not pass the law in its form. So
It was passed.
a different law would be passed. If we were to make changes to it, we would have to pass the new law with the changes.
That's right.
Okay? So I don't
Bottom
know
line.
any more information.
What's the bottom line here? Chris Novak was corresponding with these people. This activity was supposed to be completed, and basically without a completed FEMA law in force, the town of Palatine does not qualify for any FEMA benefits.
That's not true. We
Yes, it
passed
is.
the law by the date, and it was
Not filed.
it was given to Linda to be filed. I didn't
Okay.
pass the law. I didn't author the law.
It was filed.
It was filed.
Okay, you got a filing.
Okay, it was filed on time for
Yes.
us to receive our benefits.
Is it effective?
He said he wanted recommendations. It didn't say it's ineffective from the illustration. So,
As discussed, please see below comments in the local law for flood damage prevention for the town of Palatine. If you have any questions, feel free to call.
there you go.
That's pretty clear. Here's the email addressed to Mr. Novak with the action items, not recommended. It says, do this, and do this.
Well, I'm glad you have a copy of our emails because I don't.
I
So
made it
there
my
you go.
business to get it, but, yeah.
That's good. So that means our emails are active and we can communicate? through our email?
Nope. Did that resolution pass at the last meeting for me to shut everything off?
It wasn't to shut everything off, it was not to renew a communications
It was
policy.
voted,
There's a
no, it was
difference.
voted down.
No, you did not vote a resolution down. I think we can ask the clerk to review the record. I asked to reaffirm the communications policy, which you did not.
No, I did not.
Okay.
The resolution did not pass.
And I'd appreciate to have copies of all my emails since you have access to them and I don't.
I don't collect the emails.
Well, you seem to have it right there, so who has access to all the emails in the archives?
The town clerk.
Okay, Linda, I'd like a full archive of all my
This
emails.
gentleman called me and he emailed me what he emailed you. That's all I have. That's all I have, is this gentleman called me, asked me if we had amended
So
the
you-
law, and I said, I don't know anything about it.
You don't have a copy of our emails that are lost. No one has a copy of our emails that are lost. Our
Chris,
communications.
this is the agenda item right here, this FEMA law. None of this other stuff.
You're
I'm
accusing me of
interested.
hiding something, and I'd like to know the answer
I'm not
to it.
accusing you of anything. I want this replied to so the people of the town of Palatine can use the FEMA benefits. That's all I'm
The
after.
people have the FEMA benefits. They want a recommendation to the law. So before we start,
It's not a recommendation.
he would like it, and the town has to vote for it.
It's not a question of he would like it. He will get it, or the law is not effective.
I guess you can put up for a vote, and we can have a hearing for it. It has to pass.
Well, if you handled this, why don't you bring it to the table?
I didn't handle it. I received the email because
You received the email.
I received-
Now that's different when you said
But
5
no,
minutes
no,
ago.
no. I received an email in January when I looked on the Google Suite. The
It was
Google Suite
December-
is now discontinued.
It was December
Okay.
21st. It says that right here.
Doesn't matter when it's dated, it's when I looked on the Google email and saw it,
Okay.
okay? And it's no longer available to me
Okay.
because you would not renew it.
I did not renew what?
The Google Suite for us to have access to our email.
Oh, okay. All right.
I did bring that up in the last meeting.
Okay. I guess we're not gonna get a resolution to this, so is the bottom line here, I gotta pick it up and do it? Is that what the bottom line
The
is?
bottom line is that someone who would like to take over, Neil Yurden was the point man on it, if I remember. Someone would have to take over, and
Why is this fellow addressing his email to you?
he got me as a contact.
Oh. I am in receipt of the local law of the flood damage prevention for the town of Palatine. Right under where he says Mr. Novak.
There you go. So
He addressed it to you.
I didn't send him the law. Linda filed the law. I don't know. So
Well, I don't know, and history doesn't interest me too much.
I actually
Where
voted
am I
down the
going?
law.
Where am I going from here? That's what I gotta know.
it was on my list right here. It says that someone needs to contact the DEC about
Someone.
the FEMA law changes.
Okay, let's define someone.
Right.
Is that gonna be you or is that gonna be me?
It's going to be you.
Okay,
I voted the law down. I wanted no part of it.
all right. Oh dear. I got another piece of correspondence here from the State of New York Unified Court System. Section 2019A, the Uniform Justice Court Act requires. Down and down the line here, accordingly, I am requesting that you provide a copy of the audit or examination for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2017. Does this board generally just say, we look things over and everything is okay and send them a letter, or do we audit this stuff?
We have a state audit which is completed with the data available online.
Okay,
You
so,
should probably forward that.
so I can forward that to reply to this. Okay.
We also have audit responsibility power if we'd like to review the court records at any time. Just so you're aware.
Words mean things. Accordingly, I am requesting you provide a copy of the audit. It doesn't mean maybe we can, maybe we can't. It means we audit.
Mr. Supervisor, not listening to me. We can audit any records of any department as we want. I do not remember a formal audit at the end of 2016 going to 17.
Well, as we will see as we go further down the line here, I want to hire a CPA. And I am thinking maybe the best thing I could do with this is give it to the CPA. Is there anybody here that would object to my giving this letter to the CPA and asking him to perform and give him some kind of parameters as to time spent in dollars?
I think, Bill, I think you can't make the case for having a CPA as well as the audit that we just had.
Yes, I can.
How's that?
There's over $350,000 in discrepancy between the 2017 books and the 2017 resolutions. And I will get to the bottom of it, okay? And the other thing is the capital account that you fellows created in December. There is an article in town law that says that we can't create a capital account for over 10% of the budget. The capital account created was for $500,000, and if I'm not mistaken, our budget is around $1 million. That's 50% of the budget, not 10%. I have to look at that. I don't know exactly what I can do about it.
I did a one-day training on the budget, and they said, they brought up no such issue.
Well, town law manual.
Gotcha?
In my presentation later on, I will show where that comes into play. Okay?
Mr. Supervisor, are you making a resolution for CPA at this moment?
I have not.
Okay.
We're going to go further down in my agenda, and as I'm sure the board is aware, I don't have the power to contract with anybody. The board has to approve any contract that we do. That's where I am with all this other stuff that I sent for you to read. And the finances here, they're the board's responsibility. I'm hoping to get that under control, and every month you will have those 2 stacks of paper, the 2017 and 2018 budget, until we have the 2017 budget closed. We can't close that until it's in order. At least not under my watch. I'm supposed to be providing guidance and leadership, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay? All right, Highway Superintendent.
All right, well, since last month, it's pretty much been taking care of the roads. When it wasn't snowing, it was blowing. When it wasn't snowing and blowing, it was freezing rain, so we were pretty busy. Continuing to keep up with maintenance on the trucks. We had a costly repair on one of the trucks. Bearing went bad in the clutch fan, allowed the fan to go in the radiator, ruined the radiator, ruined the fan clutch. So it was about $3,000 for new parts to fix that. That's down from what list price was, so we worked on a little bit on the price, get that down a little bit. Other than that, I'd like to ask the board for permission to, again, this year attend highway school and the highway conference, as I have in previous years. So, I'd just like to get permission from the
Do you
board.
normally
I normally ask,
see a motion from the board to
Yes.
do that?
yeah, I normally ask it. I don't think it's required by law, but I always ask, just,
I think it's a good idea, yeah.
Artie, could you, what truck did that happen to? Which one?
the 2003 International.
You want to take a motion now?
I'll entertain a motion to,
So moved. What do you have?
Second.
okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, I'd also like board permission to renew the tank lease for our oxygen acetylene tanks. It's a 10-year lease. Just happened to come up. I can't give you the exact figures because I forgot what it said. It come in the mail the other day and it's laying on my desk and I forgot to bring it with me tonight. But I know it's a 10-year lease with United Welding out of Johnstown.
United? Okay.
Yeah.
Their tanks,
It's their tanks, yeah.
and they come and fill them.
Yeah, they'll
We're not
come,
carting tanks and trucks.
correct. Yep,
Okay.
they come once a week whether we need them or not. They show up, if we need them, they swap one out. If not, they don't charge us nothing. So it works good for us. We don't have to run them.
Would somebody like to put that in the form of a motion to?
I'll make a motion to
renew that lease?
I'll second it.
Okay, any more discussion?
Artie, do you have we have that in the highway line for the 10-year lease? Or we pay monthly as we've been paying, right?
I wanna say it's $800 for 4 tanks for 10 years. It's
Okay, so-
$850 or $900, something like that.
That's fine, I'm sure you have.
I know
it.
when I did it personally, it was $440 for 1 oxygen and 1 acetylene for 10 years. That's what my lease is.
Okay, so.
I'm figuring the towns is pretty close to that.
That's fine.
The
Okay.
important object for us there is that we do not own the tanks. If we own the tanks, they get out of date or they have a problem and blow the barn up, we don't own them. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, next thing I got is the agreement to spend highway money.
278.
This is done every year. It's amendable at any time if circumstances changes. As it is right now, there's $130,000 in the permanent improvements for highway fund. We're looking at paving Pavlis Road with 1.5 inches of 6F top. We're looking to chip seal North and South Con roads, and looking to pave a section of Dygert Road that is damaged. About a 1/2 mile of Dygert Road. All that should come in at less than $130,000. When it comes time to do the paving, we will go to bid. The chip seal can be done on the county's bid sheet, off the county bid sheet. And I always have them check it. I checked a couple years ago what it costs, and I think they said asphalt's coming down a little bit this year, so. But this also says that there's $40,000 set aside to repair general work on 26.5 miles of town road. Says there's approximately $66,000 of CHIPS money, and it says there's $28,000 of equipment repair money, and $85,000 of snow and ice removal money. That just gives me the okay to spend money out of those funds.
Artie, are we gonna be able to get chip seal from either Pave New York, or because it's not within the 10 years?
We'll do it with our money.
Okay, I'm just, so.
We get about $66,000 a year CHIPS money. I figure it's gonna cost about $72,000 to pave Palace Road, so all that CHIPS money will go on to
Okay,
Palace Road.
no, I just remember last year we
Yeah,
couldn't do
we had a
it.
conflict a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
we couldn't do it, okay.
So I just would like the board to sign that. Other than that, the new 3/4 ton pickup is here. The 1 ton dump, they painted it the wrong color, so I refused it. Told them to make another one the right color. Well, I didn't click the button on the computer that ordered the color, and I didn't want black. So
Black?
It came black, yeah. Anyways, that truck should be here. It took 7 weeks to get the 3/4 ton. The other truck would have been here and done already, but because it's behind a little, probably within the next month we'll have the 1 ton. I did not get the GMC on Auctions International. They did not conduct auctions between Christmas and New Year's. And as soon as New Year's was over, I tried contacting our rep. He was on vacation for a week. So I did talk to him last week. He recommended not being in a hurry and trying to sell it in a week. He recommended they like to list them for 2 weeks. Unfortunately, the board has the right to reject or accept the bids. So that would put us off until next month, which, trying to sell a pickup with a plow on it, I
Yeah.
think now's a good time to be trying to sell it. What the sales rep from Auctions International said was, if the board gives me the okay to accept or reject the bid, I can make the call for the board. We know what they offered us for trade. We know about what we gotta get for it. Auctions International, if it does not bring what we need to get for it, we can counter offer the high bidder to see if he's willing to pay what we wanna get for it. And with that being said, I'd actually like to list both trucks at the same time, even though we're not gonna let the 1 ton dump go until the new one is here. We can make it that the truck cannot be sold until delivery of the new truck. That way there, if both trucks are listed and one truck brings 3,000 or 4,000 more than we need, and one brings just under what we need, we're looking to get essentially 27,000 out of the two trucks. If one brings, and one's 13, one's 14. If one brings 12 and the other one brings 16, we got more than we needed to get. You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't hassle trying to get $2,000 more for one truck when you got 3,000 extra for the other one. You see what I'm saying? So it's up to the board if you want to sell them right before the next board meeting, or if you want to list them for 2 weeks like they recommend and let me make the calls. That's up to you guys. But as it stands right now, the town is trying to get 27,000 for the two trucks. I know there's local interest in both trucks. I've just been telling everybody they're going on Auctions International, and a lot of people are mad because when they go on Auctions International, there's a buyer's premium.
It's usually 14%.
14 or 10 if you pay with cash.
We can lessen the buyer's premium though, can't we? I remember some towns go to like 7 or something. I think
If it's a new item, high dollar, they will drop it to 4, but they're
Oh,
not
that's
gonna,
it.
they're
Okay,
not going to
4.
do it on a
Okay.
10 or 12-year-old pickup.
Well, do you think we could get better deal than with local interest? Although we have no if we sell through Auctions International, there's no commitment on anything. you
Right,
know?
it don't cost the town anything to list them, it's all on the buyer. If we list them local and don't get,
We're back where we started.
we're taking a month longer to try getting rid of them. I mean, I like both ways of selling them. I mean, I'd love to see somebody local get them. I know they're good trucks, but if we can get more for them on the internet, I say we try the internet, and if they don't sell, if we do it now, list them for 2 weeks. If they bring enough, we sell them. If not, there's still time to put an ad in the paper and have a sealed bid and open a sealed bid next month at the town board meeting. I mean, it's a lot of steps, but it could be done.
Any comments or further discussion?
I think I'd make a motion for us to put it up on the auction site. I'm well aware, already knows I look at those, so I think we could do very well there, maybe.
I'm pretty sure they'll bring what we want.
As an amendment, that Artie will call the shots on the deal.
Yeah, that would be, otherwise we gotta wait until right before next month's board meeting, so, somebody buys a truck in 2 weeks with a plow onto it, the 1 ton probably won't be able to go until the end of February, but, the other truck can go right away.
Yeah, I guess I have no problem with a proviso if both of them bring our 27,000. That's all I'd say.
Oh.
You can make it deal as long as that's the deal. That's fine, because that's what you said we need, right?
Well, in motion form, then, are you prepared to make a motion?
I make a motion, we put the trucks up for sale on Auctions International with our reserves and Artie able to give the go, no-go on the auction price.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Could you read that back to me? I want to be clear that Artie can negotiate, but no less than.
Actually, I didn't say the word negotiate, I said that he has the right to reject or accept any bids, as long as they go.
I wanna
If I reject it, I wanna be able to tell them what we'll take for the truck. If one brings 10 and the other one brings, let's say, 10 and 26, or 16, we're at 26, we're 1,000 shy. I would come back and say, well, the high bidder, tell him we'll take 13,000 for it and see what he says. And Auctions International, usually leaves their buyer's premium at what the high bid was. Because it takes 2 guys to get per truck up. The guy may be willing to pay 15,000 for it, but if there's not 2 guys, you're stuck.
Right, I've seen the auction where they go back and they say to the guy, listen, the town wanted 3,500, you bid 3,000,
Yeah.
go to 3,500, it's yours.
And they do the dealings with the commission. That's still got nothing to do with us.
That's right. So,
Okay, a lot of talking. I want to hear the motion. Could you read it for us?
Motion by Chris, second by Hank, to put both trucks on Auction International and Art will have, we'll call the shots on the deal, either accept it or reject it, with a minimum of $27,000
Combined. Yeah.
combined.
Are you happy with that, Chris?
Yes.
That's your motion?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And we got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay,
Have fun.
I don't know if it'll be fun or not. And the last thing I got is I see you got on the agenda is the plow truck numbers for you, so I'm all set unless anybody's got some questions.
Well, be careful. That motion is to fill the budget, not buy the truck.
Right, that's to sell the two used ones.
Okay,
That's all it's for,
okay.
selling two used
We've
ones.
got
No,
another-
I see in this,
Yeah, we got another one coming.
yeah.
Is that it for you? You're all set?
Yep.
One question. Have you ever used these people from Cornell to evaluate our roads? The small roads program that Cornell has?
No.
Is that something you would take a look at? It's very minimal cost to the town. And they'll come for a couple weeks and go around and push on the blacktop and the shoulders and do all this fancy stuff. It's not a question of my thinking you can learn something as much as we got some guys that'll go out and look at those roads that, from everything I've seen, Cornell has a wonderful program. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do the local roads program.
And we get some ideas. You know, some of these roads where we have the large trucks getting off on the shoulders, we've got problems coming. So I would think they show up June or July, I guess, if we give them an indication that we're interested.
That's fine with me. I've gone to some of their classes and schools, and well, of course, highway school's done by Cornell.
Yes, it is. The small roads,
Yep, local roads, they
yeah,
go.
local road program, yeah. Okay, no motion or anything necessary, I just, will express an interest, and then
I'll check into it and see what they.
I'd rather have you do it.
Yeah.
And then you can pick and choose what you feel is appropriate.